Hello everyone, and welcome to the Room of Requirement. My name is Megan, and I have over 25 years of occult and esoteric study and practice. And today I'm going to be talking about how to follow a spiritual path, where to begin, and how to acquire guidance and knowledge that's right for you. This is going to be a really comprehensive guide. So a lot of people, when they're first starting out, they get really confused. They're not sure, what they should study, which path they should follow, and all of that. So I thought it was really important to do this. So this video is going to be good for people that are just starting out, and even people that have been on the path for a while. Because when we're on the path for a while, we tend to forget things sometimes, and things that we used to do kind of fall out. So I thought this would really help, everybody from in every different, area of the path that they're on. So what I'm going to be covering is understanding spirituality, where and how to start, the types of spirituality, common beginner mistakes, the benefits of being on a spiritual path, the 5 spiritual paths, and then I'm going to take a deep dive into some foundational knowledge that you need to start. So when I mentor my students, I always tell them to start out with these specific subjects. And so I'm going to go over those in depth. And I'm also going to talk about different belief systems across cultures. So by the time you finish this video, you're going to have a really complete and full understanding of, how to get started today if you wanted to start. So, okay, guys, let's jump right in. Okay, so a beginner's guide to embarking on a spiritual path. Embarking on a spiritual journey can be a deeply rewarding and transformative experience. Whether you're seeking inner peace, a deeper connection with the universe, or simply exploring new dimensions of life, this guide will help you get started. We'll explore spiritual practices, discuss various belief systems across cultures, and I will recommend resources for beginners to the experienced. Understanding spirituality. Spirituality is a broad concept with room for many perspectives. It typically involves a sense of connection to something bigger than ourselves, and it often involves a search for meaning in life. This can be expressed through religious traditions, personal practices, or a connection with nature and the universe. Maybe you're looking to understand your purpose in life, or you're experiencing an existential crisis. Or perhaps you're starting to examine the belief system you grew up with. Whichever the case, you're contemplating a spiritual journey. But where and how should you start? So, what is spirituality? What are the basics of spirituality? In some ways, it's an impossible question to answer because spirituality means different things to different people. For some, it's a religious pursuit. For others, it's individual exploration of spirituality. Spirituality is the aspect of humanity that refers to the way individuals seek and express meaning and purpose, and the way they experience their connectedness to the moment, to self, to others, to nature, and to the significant or of the sacred. Connection. Most people pursuing spiritual journeys want to feel deeper connections with themselves, others, and the universe. For some, the bond is cosmic and otherworldly. For others, it's about communing with nature, neighbors, and the galaxy's physical realities. So what is a spiritual journey? Have you been wondering how to start a spiritual journey? One of the most important things to understand is that going through one can take physical and emotional effort, since most of us cruise through life on autopilot. The energetic shift required to change spiritual gears can be more intense than people imagine. So it is really hard. A lot of people don't really fully understand the roller coaster that is the spiritual journey, the ups and downs. A lot of people, when you're first starting out, you hear a lot about love and light, and there is some of that, but for the most part, it's not all love and light. This is basically tearing down who you are from bottom up, and it is painful, and it requires a lot of work and discipline and surrender and acceptance. But it's so worth it. I don't want to scare anybody off from it. It is absolutely the best thing that you can do for yourself and others, and I wouldn't trade my path for anything. Okay, so what are the types of spirituality? There are several types of spirituality. Some folks pursue all of them, others pick one or two to master. The choice is yours and may depend on a soul contract you signed before diving into this life. Mystical spirituality. Mystical spirituality focuses on cosmic and intuitive aspects of existence. People who subscribe to these types of esoteric belief systems have faith in a force more powerful than what we can see and touch. They also believe in a universal unity that transcends the physical world. Practitioners of mystical spirituality may say things like, everything happens for a reason and there's a cosmic explanation behind everything. Just real quick, if this is the first time you're coming across one of my videos, I have a ton of videos about mysticism and Gnosticism and all these different types of things that I'm going to be talking about that take a deeper dive into it. So this is just like a guideline, but if you're wanting more, you can check out all of my other videos. This channel is completely designed to help you on your spiritual path, and I have tons of stuff that can help you learn. Okay, then there is authoritarian spirituality. So it involves devotion to a hierarchical structure in the heavens and earth. Fundamentalist commitment to a religion or belief system is the most common type of authoritarian spirituality. Sometimes this type of journey can safely allow individuals to immerse themselves in their chosen faith, like monks living in ashrams and temples. Unfortunately, it can take a more violent, destructive turn, as in the case with some sects of fundamentalist cults and religious movements. People who travel down the authoritarian spiritual path may believe that their belief system is the only right way. Intellectual spirituality. Intellectual spirituality is rooted in the notion that knowledge is power. People who choose this path enjoy reading about and discussing theories. They find their way to the unknown through learning. All spiritual disciplines have an intellectual sect or path to enlightenment, and many people drawn to its intellectual spirituality combine it with service, devotion, or mystical ritualism. Service spirituality. Service spirituality involves attending to others' needs. Mastery of the craft comes with the individual genuinely helping others without expecting anything, not even a thank you. It can be a tricky path because many folks don't recognize that they serve performatively. They feast on the praise showered on them for being good people. However, healing through service can only happen in a pure state of generosity without a need or thought of recognition or reward. So this is where ego comes in. I do have a video about navigating the ego while in service to others on your spiritual path. So if you're wanting to know a little bit more about this, you can check that out. Then there is social spirituality. Some people are introverted and others are extroverted. Folks who fall under the former umbrella may appreciate individualized spiritual journeys, whereas those in the latter may seek out socially spiritual events like group retreats. If you pick this path, think long and hard about your relationship with dependency. Are you choosing to seek communal salvation because of fear or a genuine desire to live selflessly among others? Some common mistakes on the spiritual journey for beginners. Ethereal journeys can be exciting and fulfilling, but nobody ever said they're easy, especially in the beginning. Finding one's spiritual sea legs can be a bumpy ride. With that in mind, let's unpack a handful of mistakes many people make at the start of their spiritual awakening. They lack patience. Have you ever tried spirituality for a week or 10 and gave up when miracles didn't immediately rain down in your lap? Please don't feel bad. You're not alone. It always happens. In fact, it's more common than successfully establishing a mindfulness or spirituality routine. Remember that devotional work, both religious and secular, isn't a magic bolt that instantaneously ushers the dream into your conscious realm. Monks practicing for decades have yet to experience bliss, much less enlightenment. So in other words, it takes time, lots and lots and lots of time. So cultivating patience early in your journey is wise. So that is like the biggest thing, especially with like meditation. A lot of people will give up. They don't give it enough time. And they want to have these like really profound experiences right off the bat. And if they don't, they get really discouraged and quit. But that's where the good stuff is. You learn to challenge yourself and just stick with it. And eventually, you will have these experiences, and the growth is exponential, but you just have to give it a little time. And everybody's going to go at their own pace and be different and feel different. And things, some people, things will happen right away for them. Some people, it takes months, weeks, years. It just depends on your level of knowledge, your level of experience, and especially past life experiences as well. They engage in enlightenment arrogance. The benefits of mindfulness, spirituality's backbone, can sometimes lead to judgment. Bluntly stated, new spiritualists can be all ego and no insight. Many also approach the journey myopically and think, well, if X worked for me, it can work for anyone. Then when people fall short of expectations, newly minted gurus attribute their failure to some moral failing rooted in laziness and victimhood. But each life carves a distinctive path in the sands of time and space, and what's good for the goose isn't necessarily suitable or feasible for the gander. It's also a bad idea to cut people out of your life because they aren't on the same exact track as you. Like stars, lives have singular trajectories, and judging others is rarely an excellent karmic idea. The bottom line is, when it comes to spirituality, worry about yourself and only yourself. So this has to do with ego and judgment and attachment. And so just, it's not good to judge others, or just because somebody's not into something that you're into, it doesn't mean that they're wrong. It doesn't mean that you're right. Just everybody is on their own journey and their own path. And it's good to just, focus on yourself and be the change that you want to see. They search for external answers. Spiritual newbies love to search for answers outside of themselves. Sure, the universe throws people proverbial bones in the form of signs every so often, but the work of spirituality is internal. Forming a conscious bond with the world around you is about learning to recognize your divine spark. They crave external validation. As discussed, novices frequently search for external answers. They also crave external validation, which defeats the purpose of a soulful journey. Ultimately, it's best to avoid spiritual competition at all costs. Your quest for meaning, connection, and purpose should never be a status contest. They confuse spirituality and material goal setting. Another common mistake is conflating personal and professional goal setting with spirituality. Goal setting is about what you want is about what you want your life to look like, materially and professionally. Spirituality, on the other hand, is about how you want to feel, see, and experience the world. Goal setting and spirituality can work in tandem, but they're different. The former requires external effort and feedback. The latter is an internal process. So generally, for the most part, we all start out this way. We think, oh, I'm going to go on this path and I'm going to get my stuff together, and then everything that I want to manifest is going to come true and all this. And we do have those thoughts. We're human. Those things usually happen when we first start out. But the further along you get, then you're going to start to realize that that's not really the case. But, it's a very common thing that happens. The benefits of learning how to be spiritual. Embarking on a spiritual journey for beginners can be disorienting at the start. You're out to sea for a long time, then one day you discover a new land. You're elated and rewarded handsomely. In most ways, a spiritual journey follows the same arc. A spiritual journey has many potential benefits, including experiencing a cosmic level of love and respect for all living people, animals, and plants, instead of only feeling connected with folks and things with which you're most familiar and comfortable. Moving through experiences with faith, optimism, and joy, being aware of life's divine nature, getting to know and love yourself unconditionally, even when you mess up, being able to see magic in the ordinary, being aware of the divine grace that helps fuel your life, coping better with stress, anxiety, and depression, restoring a sense of hope and optimism about life. Steps for starting your spiritual journey. Some people's spiritual paths are clear from an early age. The rest of us usually need to put in a little effort to find the road that most resonates with our eternal beings. In some ways, it's a trial and error process. So usually, some people start early and then some people start midlife, and then some people start later in life. So everyone's different. Like for me, I was always really spiritually oriented since I was a kid, but I really didn't super understand it and dive deep into it until I got into my early to mid 30s. Okay, so that, and usually when you hit about 40s, in between your 40 and 45 mark, that's when you're really going to understand things and you're really going to dive in, because that's usually when, we're at the end of our careers, we've raised our children, our lives aren't as busy, so we have more time to focus on ourselves and go within. Okay. So, however, there are things you can do to prepare and make the journey easier. 1, declutter your spaces. 2, take stock of your current belief system. 3, develop a self-care routine. 4, read up on the possibilities. 5, decide whether you will share your plans. 6, reconnect with nature. 7, learn to be kind to yourself. 8, choose the path you want to try. 9, keep an open mind. This is huge. 10, give everything you try a chance. So that leads back into patience. 11, be on the lookout for scammers. So we all have seen this. These big, people that claim to be these gurus and charge exorbitant amounts of money to give you and guarantee you enlightenment and all this. Just be wary of that. Just use your discernment. Nowadays, in the past, it used to be harder to tell, but now it's super obvious. Clickbaity things, things that cost way too much. People that promise you all these things that just don't make any sense. Just use your discernment, okay? And be aware of that. And unfortunately, a lot of people get scammed when they first start out because they don't really know. They don't know how things work. 12, keep a record of your progress. 13, try rituals. 14, allow yourself to believe. And 15, read, learn, and absorb over and over and over and over again. That's how I got to where I'm at. I read and read and read and learned and unlearned and absorbed and then did it all over again. So this is really, really, really important. Okay, so what are the 5 spiritual paths? The knowledge path is suited for people who gain depth and insight through wisdom and gathering knowledge. Analytical meditation, contemplation, studying, and journaling are important tools for people on this path. They frequently delve into questions about self-knowledge and the greater good. The path of devotion. The path of devotion is all about surrendering to something greater than yourself. The ultimate goal is to liberate the soul from its ego. Praying, chanting, and using mantras are common. The path of meditation. Meditation is a spiritual path in and of itself. People who go this route usually are interested in connecting with a higher power. They also value stillness and calmness. So all of these usually get combined in one path, but some people just practice one or a couple of these things, and that's completely fine too. It's just up to you. But for the most part, everybody combines all of these things I'm talking about. The path of service. Active selflessness defines the path of service, but it can be a tricky road, as practitioners mustn't focus on their efforts, but instead on the needs of others. People who serve for the wrong reasons can find themselves in miserable places. The path of energy. The energetic path is probably the least discussed and one of the most powerful. It combines several disciplines, including meditation and knowledge. People who go down the energy path typically use rituals. So I have a video on energy manipulation, how to feel it, direct it, and control it. If you guys are interested, you can definitely check that out. And I go in depth on how to do that. Whatever path you choose, and no matter how long it takes, your spiritual journey will help you have a deeper understanding of yourself and the meaning of your life. A guide to embarking on a spiritual journey. Embarking on a spiritual journey is a deeply personal and transformative experience. It involves a quest for understanding, inner peace, and connection with the universe. This guide will explore various spiritual practices, emphasizing the elements of the earth, air, fire, and water, and spirit, and delve into topics such as astrology, numerology, meditation, yoga, energy work, visualization, and breath work. Additionally, we will explore different schools of thought and provide beginner book recommendations and tools to aid on your journey. So this is where I'm going to get into what I always recommend to my students when they're first starting out. All of these things that I'm going to talk about, if you learn all of these things and master them to at least an intermediate level, in the higher advanced studying and research that you get into, you're going to understand it way more and you're not going to be so confused. So if you have this basic foundational knowledge, everything else you pick up, all the books you pick up, all the videos that you watch, everything is going to make way more sense to you. And it's going to be, you're going to have a well-rounded, really comprehensive understanding of the higher advanced teachings. Okay. So foundational knowledge you need to know for deeper understanding of all concepts as a whole. Understanding the elements. So earth. The element of earth symbolizes stability, grounding, and the physical world. It is associated with the material aspects of life and is crucial for maintaining balance. To connect with earth, consider spending time in nature, gardening, or practicing mindfulness through physical activities like walking or hiking. So all of these things are all connected and tied in together. They all correspond to each other. You guys have heard me, if you see my other videos, you hear me talk about this quite a bit. So that's why I'm going over all of this. They all correspond to each other and you can't have one without the other. Okay, then there's air. Air represents intellect, communication, and the breath of life. It is the element of thought and inspiration. To embrace air, engage in activities that stimulate your mind, such as reading, writing, and engaging in meaningful conversations. Breathwork is also a powerful way to connect with air, as it emphasizes the importance of breathing in spiritual practices. Fire, my favorite element. Fire embodies transformation, passion, and energy. It is the element of change and creativity. To harness fire, engage in activities that ignite passion, such as pursuing a hobby or career that excites you. Candle meditation, where you focus on the flame, can also help you connect with this element. Water. Water symbolizes emotions, intuition, and healing. It is the element of flow and adaptability. Connecting with water can be achieved through activities like swimming, taking long baths, or practicing meditation near a body of water. Journaling is another way to explore your emotions and intuition. So all of these elements also tie into your astrological signs too. Okay. So spirit. Spirit is the essence that connects all things. It is the divine spark within each of us. Embracing spirit involves seeking a deeper understanding of your true self and your connection to the universe. Practices that connect with spirit include meditation, prayer, and exploring spiritual texts. Exploring spiritual practices. Astrology. Astrology is the study of the movements and positions of celestial bodies and their influence on human affairs. It offers insights into personality, relationships, and life events. For beginners, Astrology for the Soul by Jen Spiller is a great starting point. Consider obtaining a natal chart reading to understand your astrological blueprint better. So this is going to really help you understand which gateway that you view the world from, and it will help you to use your strengths to your benefit and then work on your weaknesses. So the whole point of our astrology is to transcend it for spiritual growth so that we don't have to keep coming back over and over and over again. So it's really important to understand astrology because as above, so below, as within, so without, we are being influenced by our astrology. It is the basis of pretty much everything. It has been used since ancient times. It goes way, way, way back. The Mayans, the Sumerians, the Babylonians, the Egyptians, all of them, the Greeks, the Romans, they all were recording this, all the Celtic religions, you have Stonehenge, all of the stone monuments, the megaliths, Göbekli Tepe, all of these things. Okay, so all of this stuff goes back to astrology and it is deeply ingrained in our DNA and it is super important and it is the basis and foundation of everything that we know today. Even now, there you can read your horoscope in a newspaper. People that don't even believe in this stuff, they still read their horoscopes. So that tells you something, right? So astrology is super important. I know that it can seem overwhelming sometimes, but just go at it really slow and learn it at your own pace. Just learn one section at a time. If you try and learn all of the really complexities of it, you're going to get overwhelmed. But I taught myself how to do it because I wanted to be able to learn to read my own chart without a professional astrologer, and then be able to read other people's charts for them. And that is something else that I, do on the side, as I do natal charts for people. So just with practice and reading everybody's charts, you will eventually learn. But it is very important, and it also has a lot of correspondences, and it's really beneficial to learn all of this. And that way you understand your daily transits. The energies that are affecting you from day to day will really help you navigate your day as well. Numerology. So this is another fascinating thing. It's been used for a really, really long time too. This ties into synchronicities, angel number signs, all of this stuff, right? Our life path number, what we're supposed to be doing, what our will is, completing the great work. So numerology is a belief in the mystical significance of numbers. It offers insights into personality traits, life paths, and destiny. The Complete Book of Numerology by David A. Phillips provides a comprehensive introduction for newcomers. Start by calculating your life path number using your birth date and explore its meaning. So for example, my birthday is 10/23/81. So I would add 1 plus 0 plus 2 plus 3 plus 1 plus 9 plus 8 plus 1, and that equals to a 7. So I am a life path 7, and which means I am supposed to be on a spiritual path, a mentor teaching path, and ascending in my spiritual growth. So that is my life path number. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. So once you figure that out in combination with your astrology, then you can really get a good comprehensive view about yourself and how you see the world and how you operate in the world. And this is going to help you figure out what your interests are. Okay. Meditation. You guys hear me beating a dead horse here. Meditation, meditation, meditation. Super important. Okay. So I have videos on this too, guys. So meditation is a practice of focused attention and awareness. It promotes relaxation, clarity, and spiritual growth. Beginners can start with guided meditations available through apps like Headspace or Calm. YouTube even has some really great ones. The Miracle of Mindfulness by Thich Nhat Hanh is an excellent resource for understanding meditation's basics. Also, I highly recommend at Ben Smith Real. He is probably the best meditation teacher that I have ever come across, and he teaches you the right way right off the bat so that you don't have to relearn later on like I did, right? So this is going to teach you how to do them without guided meditations. There's nothing wrong with guided meditations. I still use them, but I do it in the traditional silent single pointed focus way. And so I had to retrain myself how to do it. So I highly recommend. That's at Ben Smith Real. You guys can check him out. So meditation is a practice where an individual uses techniques such as mindfulness or focusing the mind on a particular object, thought, or activity to train attention and awareness. Achieving a mentally clear and emotionally calm state is an excellent way to start your spiritual journey. How to get started. Find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed. Sit comfortably with your back straight. Close your eyes and focus on your breath. Begin with short sessions, gradually increasing the time as you become more comfortable. So if you guys have any questions on this, on how to meditate, just drop it in the comments below and I'll let you know, or you can check out the channel I just mentioned. Yoga. Okay, so you're going to hear two forms of yoga. So there's physical exercise. It's not really exercise. But there's physical yoga, and then there's yoga, which is a form of contemplation or meditation. So these terms are used interchangeably, okay? But what I'm talking about here is the actual physical yoga. So physical yoga is actually not just, to tone your body. It does, and it's not just for exercise. That happened during the New Age movement in the Western world, when all the gurus started coming to America in the 60s and 70s. But yoga is an ancient practice that started in India, and it's meant to help you with focus. It's a form of meditation. It helps you with breath work. So it's a group of physical, mental, and spiritual practices that originated in ancient India. It aims to control and still the mind, recognizing a detached witness consciousness untouched by mundane suffering. It emphasizes balance, flexibility, inner peace, and chakra system, and energy flow and release. Okay, so this is really great, especially for doing shadow work and releasing pent up energy in your muscles. Helps you with focus, it helps you with discipline, it helps you with breath work. Basically, when you're moving, you are breathing in and out with your movements, which really helps you release these things. So you can have somatic releases. I do shadow work while I'm doing yoga, and I find this is the best way for me. So there are a lot of different types of yoga, but the most popular are hatha yoga, that's what I practice, and vinyasa. Hatha yoga focuses on physical postures and is great for beginners. Vinyasa yoga involves a flow of movement synchronized with the breath. And then there's Kundalini yoga, which focuses on awakening energy through breath and movement. So Kundalini yoga is when you hold poses for a very, very, very long time till your body starts shaking. And that's when you start releasing energy, and the energy flow moves through your body. Okay, so then there's energy work. I also have a video on this if you guys want to check that out. So energy work involves manipulating the body's energy fields for healing and balance. Practices like Reiki, Qigong, and Tai Chi fall under this category. Beginners might explore the Energy Healing Handbook by Cindy Dale to understand the basics of energy healing. So once you get further along your path, you're going to be called to do this, to practice this, because it's just going to help compound the practices that you already have of meditation and yoga. And it's also going to increase your psychic abilities and intuition, and help with energy flow through your body. At some point you're going to be called to do this. Okay, mindfulness. So mindfulness involves maintaining a moment by moment awareness of our thoughts, feelings, bodily sensations, and surrounding environment. It's about being present and fully engaged with the current moment without judgment. Simple mindfulness exercises. Take a deep breath and bring your attention to your breath. Notice the feeling of your feet on the ground. Listen to the sounds around you without labeling them. So you can practice mindfulness all throughout your day, just doing regular chores. All it is being completely present in everything that you're doing, instead of rushing around like we do here all the time, most of us. And with our busy lives in the West, we constantly are rushing around doing everything. Mindfulness is really just going slowly and paying attention and being present in what you are doing. Okay, so this helps really calm the mind, and it helps you monitor your thoughts. So it's a form of meditation. Journaling. So it can be a powerful spiritual practice. It involves writing down your thoughts, emotions, and reflections, which can help you gain clarity and insight into your journey. Automatic writing is also good too. Tips for journaling: write consistently, whether daily or weekly. Don't censor yourself. Let your thoughts flow freely. Reflect on your entries to identify patterns and insights. So this will really help you track your progress and start to notice patterns, and then this can lead to higher awareness, and then eventually spiritual growth. Visualization. Okay, so visualization is the practice of forming mental images to manifest desires or achieve goals. It leverages the power of the mind to influence reality. Creative visualization offers techniques and exercises for beginners to harness the power of imagination. It also ties into energy manipulation techniques and can deepen meditation practice. So I have a video on this as well. Breath work. Breath work involves conscious breathing exercises to enhance physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being. Techniques such as pranayama or holotropic breath work are popular. The Healing Power of the Breath by Richard Brown and Patricia Gerbarg is a practical guide for starting breathwork practices. And there's tons of other stuff out there too that you guys can check out. It can improve relaxation for meditation. Visualization can aid tremendously in shadow work and releasing trauma in the body, as well as emotional and physical pain. Different schools of thought. So in Buddhism, it focuses on mindfulness and the path to enlightenment. Hinduism offers a variety of practices, including yoga and meditation. Taoism emphasizes living in harmony with the Tao, or the natural order. Kabbalah is a mystical interpretation of Judaic teachings. Sufism is the mystical branch of Islam, focusing on love and the divine. Understanding spiritual belief systems across cultures. The world is rich with diverse spiritual belief systems, so here are a few to consider. Hinduism is one of the oldest religions in the world, characterized by belief in reincarnation, karma, and a multitude of gods and goddesses. It emphasizes living a righteous life and achieving moksha, which is liberation from the cycle of rebirth. Buddhism, founded by Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha, Buddhism teaches the Four Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path as a way to end suffering and achieve enlightenment. It emphasizes meditation, ethical living, and mindfulness. Sufism is a mystical Islamic belief system that seeks to a direct experience of God through love, prayer, and meditation. It emphasizes the inner personal experience of the divine. Indigenous spiritualities. Many indigenous cultures have spiritual beliefs deeply rooted in nature and the environment. They often involve rituals, ceremonies, and a profound respect for the earth and its cycles. So this is a lot of shamanic work. We have this, here in the Americas and also in South America, and some other countries as well. Okay, in conclusion, remember your spiritual journey is personal and unique to you. It's important to explore different practices and belief systems to see what resonates most with you. Be patient and open-minded, allowing yourself to grow and evolve over time. May your journey be filled with peace, wisdom, and joy. Embarking on a spiritual journey is a deeply personal endeavor. By exploring various elements and practices, you can find the path that resonates most with you. Remember, the journey is as important as the destination, and each step brings you closer to understanding your true self and your connection to the universe. Okay, you guys, so I hope you really enjoyed this one. If you have any questions or comments, I'd love to hear your journey, how you started. If sharing your journey will help other people learn more. So if there's any tips or tricks that you guys learned along the way, drop those in the comments. I love to engage with you guys. I am a mentor, so if you guys are interested in one-on-one mentoring with me, I do have my link now posted, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.